I think first I need to address the symbolic aspect that you brought up. I'm very careful usually not to speak and not to say that precept or mitzvah is symbolic, because of a different direction of perception. I don't think mitzvah is symbolic. I think it's actual, but I think it needs to come from a place of understanding the root, and not by executing it by hands and legs. This is the expression, without actually being part of the feeling of it, or not in terms of reason why it is good for human to do so, but understanding the order of creation in which each mitzvah is set, or one can say mitzvot has to do with the constitution of the spirit. So I'm saying that actually when we act upon it, we use it as symbol. It's a very, very deep conflict with Christianity, because Christianity is saying that all the precepts are symbolic. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we are free from precepts, that it should not at the end come to an expression of the very being that we manage to reform of ourselves, and the precept is an expression of it, and because we are in last generation, it cannot be as it used to be, an advice or an aid to form ourselves. I never said that the precept is a symbol. It's not. It's an actuality, but it can be a fallen actuality, as many, let's say, many expressions or many terms in our language are actually fallen from the real meaning. But I would not substitute it for being symbolic. Is it clear what I'm saying? Because symbol, it's true that the origin of the word, which is Greek, is symboli. It's sameness that is coming from. It's like a volleyball that you throw up, and I think precept in Hebrew terms or in Hebrew belief is the other way around. It's something that was given from high to low. It's not the way that we sort of push it. You can say this is return light, not, but the ball is from above, so it's not symbolic. And if people are coming from the arena of actually asking question about what is precept, I would say that the first precept that is compatible to our generation is the study of Torah. So we fulfill mitzvah, and not in a symbolic way. Mm-hmm. Coming together, studying in a group is fulfilling mitzvah, not in a symbolic way. What needs to come to be born out of it is a being that their actions are precepts because of their consciousness towards themselves, towards the other, and towards the whole surrounding. Now it's fragile. It's very fragile what I'm saying, because it's sort of, do I choose which precept to fulfill and which not? Okay, so I'm not posek halacha, but what we study is this is the order. In the name of what? in the name of all vessels that wish to reform themselves as the actual design of Shekhinah. And every vessel in its root state is feminine. The whole creation is feminine in relation to the Creator. But the beauty about a vessel that it can change the way it handles itself. It means it can be a female that acts in a way or with the power to bestow as male. So, and yet it is female. But it's a female that took upon herself to act in simile to the qualities of bestowal of the Creator, or to the qualities of the attitude and the sentiment that the Creator has towards his createe. So it's more that that the vessel summons the qualities and way of being of the Creator. So it's not symbolic, and it has to do with how I manage to include as my nature, how do I manage to include his properties as the ways and means in which I express my true being. So I cannot speak about providence without looking at the separation of a vast majority of Jewish people from Orthodoxy. There must be a reason for that. And the reason is not clear till we start the search. Okay, so when we speak about Shekhinah, if we take the first definition of Baal Sulam of Shekhinah, actually they are all the vessels from the first outcome of Tzimtzum Aleph, meaning the screen and everything, the first screen, which is copulating Malchut, and everything that stems from it, meaning all the states of all the processes of the vessel throughout creation are as a sum total of consciousness, of an attitude towards the creation, are defined as the definition is Shekhinah, divinity. Now, it's the root of all consciousness, of all human consciousness or creative consciousness. Okay, and their ability, actually, if we were not of that root, we would not be able to understand creation as a whole, or the first act of creation, or the fact that we are included in his thought. Okay, so in a way, it's a sum total. Now we have to narrow it down when we work, because we cannot actually relate to the whole system. We study the whole system, but the actuality is that it is the base. It's the land or the earth of the world of Atzilut. This is Malchut. The Atzilut is the closest felt or nearby host that we can relate to. Okay, so when we speak about what actually stands, everything in all the world that stems out or stems from Atzilut has the same quality, but with a weaker substance or weaker light. So when we come to the world, to the border between our world and the world of Asiya, what stands in front of that Malchut is the land of Israel, is the actual land of Israel. So it's not symbolic as well. It's sort of, we can see, for example, that geographically, the whole Earth is divided into, one can say, sort of essences, influences, natures. So,
do you mean like
a piece of land? Let's say a piece of land is called France, with all its history, is giving birth to a human consciousness which is called French, the French one, the French people. They can be part of Europe, but yet they maintain language, they maintain order of importances, sensitivity and sensibility, different sensibility. It means that there is something in the land that has in each place, or instead of looking at it as divided by borders, it's divided by natures. There is a different nature to each part of this globe, or this earth. This we know. Sometimes it mixes influences. You have nomads, you have history, but it's all forming something that has some sort of an affinity to the nature of the land, okay, to the nature of the place. Okay. So if we speak about place, Earth as place, it has different nature of emanation according to different nature of emanation of the way that the Creator reveals its pluralism, or its many aspects, one can say, and each one is needed. So if we speak about Malchut, when she is not in her place, which is in Atzilut, but she is in a different place, what covers her usually is what we call the pills, or the dross, or sitra achar. It is one of the lands that has been like, a place of there's no one who did not, even from the east, who did not try to sort of occupy this land. Okay. So we have to ask why, and the answers are not easy. It means that as well, when people are coming here, they have to actually go through a huge war with themselves, with a part of the will to receive to oneself, in order to sort out what actually belong to this place. So